as a coach, the first preseason game, you have some rookies, some free agents. You want to see them with a crowd, and really winning and losing isn't at the top of the list. But I think with these two teams, I think that's the number one thing. We were talking to Jimmy Johnson the other day, and he said, I've never coached in a game of my life that I didn't have to win, that didn't count. And he said, I'm trying to calm down and all this, but I'll guarantee you, when the game starts, Jimmy Johnson is going to want to win this game as bad as he's ever wanted to win a game. And then Dan Henning said yesterday, he said, look, this is my first game with the Chargers. We have to change things around. The most important thing in this game for us is to win. We want to win it.
You know, you can't read about the Dallas Cowboys or hear anything about the Dallas Cowboys, in addition to the new regime, that you don't hear about the so-called conflict between the two new quarterbacks. $15 million worth of quarterbacks, Troy Aikman and Steve Walsh. What about that situation?
Well, one thing, first of all, I don't believe it's a controversy. I mean, that's the same thing Jimmy Johnson said, and I agree with him. He said it's not. It's a position that you're going to have to develop two rookie quarterbacks, because these are the guys that they're going to go with. And I think that any other position, it's competition. If it's quarterbacks, it's a conflict. Now, what I think happens here is I think that Troy Aikman is a great talent. He was a great talent in college. He's going to be a great talent in the NFL. Steve Walsh may look better early because, he's played in the same system. He's played for Jimmy Johnson. He knows the system better. But I watched Troy Aikman in practice the other day, and he is going to be a great NFL quarterback.
John, when you talk about the Chargers, they're going to start a rookie quarterback today, too. Billy Joe Tolliver from Texas Tech. Dan Henning was a little bit upset when Billy Joe missed 8 days of training camp. But we talked with Dan yesterday about how the situation rests at the moment.
Well, I think that Dan Henning figures that he'd like to get Tolliver in a situation where the score is 0-0 and not put him in that deal where you have to come from behind because, as I said, he wants to win the game. Now, I think Troy Aikman is going to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys all year. I don't think Billy Joe Tolliver is going to be the starting quarterback for the Chargers. I think it's going to be David Archer. He wants to start Tolliver, then bring Archer in the crunch time.
They're still starting things out on the field. It's a very hot, very warm afternoon. 94 degrees down on the playing surface right now. We'll get our first look at Billy Joe Tolliver because the Chargers have won the coin toss, and obviously they will receive. Sid Brooks on the left, one of the two equipment men, also Buck Buchanan of the Dallas Cowboys, who were in the service together, in the Air Force together, and they were out for the toss of the coin. Military day here. Temperature 80 degrees. Pretty good breeze today. The temperature on the field, however, as I mentioned, 94 degrees. Wind 8 to 10 miles an hour. It's supposed to remain as it is, sunny and clear. The Chargers, who have won the toss. John, as you look at the Chargers, well, we'll get back to that. Cowboys in a whole new picture, a whole new regime, a new owner, a new coach, about half a new coaching staff, and a new outlook, a much more relaxed, vigorous outlook at the practices and in training camp.
I'll tell you one thing about the Cowboys. They're excited. I think, Jerry Jones, the new owner, is one of those guys who is always up. I'd be surprised if he ever sleeps. I think he stays pumped up. Jimmy Johnson is a very up guy. In the pregame warm-up, he went around and shook every guy's hand today. And he brings those college things, enthusiasm, excitement, guys flying around. That's the type of football he wants.
Jerry Jones told me, I asked him if he was having any fun in his new role as the owner of the Cowboys, and he said, am I having any fun? Let me tell you, I hate to go to bed and go to sleep at night, and I can't wait to get up. I'm having so much fun. Roger Ruzick will kick off. Wayne Walker and Victor Floyd standing back at the goal line. Ruzick, good kick. Walker, 8 yards deep, and he'll stay in the end zone. So the Chargers will come out to the 20. Billy Joe Tolliver will start at quarterback. He's number 11. He will face this defense. Ed Jones, Mark Whalen, Dan Sileo, and Jim Jeffcoat, two veteran defensive ends. Strange names in the middle. Burton, Lockhart in the middle, and Ken Norton in the linebacker spots. Secondary, Walls and Williams, the cornerbacks. Horton, the newcomer, and Bill Bates, longtime Dallas Cowboy, are the two safety men. Billy Joe Tolliver, second-round draft choice from Texas Tech from the 20. Going to go to work. Incomplete. Intended for Marion Butts. Ken Norton on the knockdown, the tackle. San Diego backs and receivers. Tolliver the quarterback. Marion Butts, who's been a pleasant surprise at one of the running back spots. The H-back is Joe Caravello. Jamie Holland and Quinn Early will start at wide receiver, and Arthur Cox, who weighs in the neighborhood of 280, is the tight end. Second 10. Two tight ends. Caravello was the man in motion. And Marion Butts hammers outside the 30 for a first down. Stopped by Bill Bates. Gain of 12. The offensive line. Patton, Thompson, Dennis McKnight starting at center. David Richards, an ex-Cowboy, and Brett Miller from the Atlanta Falcons starting at right tackle.
And one of those things, they have those two big tackles, and the tight end, as you said, Cox is weighing about 280 pounds. Caravello's about 280. He's the H-back. So that gives them, instead of having like 5 offensive linemen, they have like 7 offensive linemen in there.
And now they go with 3 wide receivers. Instead of draw play to Lionel James. And it appeared he got about 4. Eugene Lockhart on the stop.
Now, if you wonder what kind of team the Chargers are going to be offensively, they're going to be a lot like the Washington Redskins, where you have a passing group, which is 3 wide receivers. Then you have the running group, which is a big 2 tight ends. So that time they had their passing formation in there, even though it was first down. Now they substitute again back to their running formation, which are those 2 big tight ends we're talking about.
You're going to see a lot of different faces in this lineup. Caravello, the H-back. Early split wide to the right. The lone wide receiver. Marion Butts, the lone back. He gets the carry. As I mentioned before, he's been a pleasant surprise, John. They knew he's a good blocker, but what they didn't think was that he was as good a runner as he is.
That's the thing that happens. You know, sometimes these guys play in college and they play the I formation. They just run all the time. And then you think, well, all they are is blockers. Then you start letting them run. They say, geez, these guys can run pretty well. Remember William Andrews from the Atlanta Falcons? It was that way. He was a blocker in college.
So was Marcus Allen.
Yeah. Marcus Allen was a fullback at one time.
Third down and just about 1. Oliver back to throw it. Has time. Complete first down. Lionel James out of the backfield. Ron Francis made the stop.
I think that's what they were trying to get Billy Joe Tolliver. Get that first completion. And you watch his protection here. This is what you have to have. You have to give him time. You see that offensive line up there? Boom. They give him not only time to find a receiver, but they give him a lane to throw in. I think that was one of the things Henny wanted to start off with. Get the guy. You don't have to go deep. You don't have to press anything. Get that first completion under your belt.
First down, San Diego at their own 46. Butts. Eugene Lockhart on the stop, but a gain of 6.
You know, one thing we were talking to Billy Joe Tolliver yesterday, and he said it's really going to be something for him playing this game. That he's from Texas, of course. He said he grew up and he was always a Cowboy fan. Then he said, then to be over there, and he said, imagine being in a game and looking up on the line of scrimmage and seeing Too Tall Jones. He said he was one of my favorite players of all time. And now here I am, little Billy Joe Tolliver, playing in a game against Too Tall Jones.
Holland split wide to the left this time. Again, it's Marion Butts, and Too Tall Jones wraps him up. A gain of only 1. Tolliver said, in fact, I'd like to go up to Ed Jones before the game and say hello. And that would be the last time I'd like to meet him.
I'll tell you, Too Tall is still an amazing guy. Look at him. He's here in the end of the line of scrimmage. 72, 15 years in the NFL. It just seems like he plays so long and has played so well that you tend to take them for granted.
As we were saying the other day when we were up at Dallas training camp, you just don't hear him mentioned that much. 3rd and 3. Lionel James, the lone back. In motion is Darren Flutie. Oliver to Flutie. He had it, lost it, and got it back.
Oh, and he's going to lose the first down on that, too.
Manny Hendricks made the stop.
Darren Flutie, of course, that's Doug Flutie's brother. And you're going to see, he gets here, he gets the first down. You see the sticks here, he'll be past the first down marker. Now as he fumbles, it's not where he was hit, it's where the ball is either recovered or goes out of bounds. So he had the first down, then he had to come back. When by the time he recovered the ball, it was lost the first down.
Mosienko's punt will be handled by Tyrone Thurman. He's knocked out of bounds just at the 20-yard line where the Cowboys will take over. 34-yard punt, a return of 9, a net of 25. Score 0-0 at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego.
Raise your hand. You got it. Raise your hand. You know it. You feel confident, secure.
You got it. That Sure, secure, confident feeling. Because Sure's double-action formula fights wetness while it kills bacteria that cause odor. Be sure of both odor and wetness protection. Get Sure.
Confident, confident, dry and secure. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're sure.
Nothing's rougher on a man's face than shaving. That's why there's Skin Bracer. It's more than an aftershave. It soothes, cools, tightens pores, so it's good for your skin.
Thanks. I needed that.
Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menen.
Today's Duracell batteries last up to 30% longer than the ones from a few years back. Duracell. You can't top the copper.
What a jolt. The pain. My teeth. The dentist said I'd be all right. And he gave me a different medicine. It's in these little yellow pills. Nuprin. Works so well on that pain. No wonder it's great for my tough headaches.
Nuprin. It's not aspirin, not Tylenol. It's ibuprofen.
You know, 2 Nuprins stop my headaches better than extra-strength Tylenol. And Nuprin's gentler on my stomach than aspirin.
Nuprin. Little, yellow, different, better.
It even worked on my worst pain.
The #1 draft choice, Troy Aikman, will start at quarterback. And he'll be looking at this Charger defense. Lee Williams, Mike Charles, and George Hinkle starting at right defensive end. Linebackers Billy Ray Smith, Cedric Figueroa, Jim Collins, and Leslie O'Neal. And this secondary, Gil Byrd, Sam Seal, the corners, Vincey Glenn, and Martin Bayless, the safety men. There's Herschel Walker on the sideline. A trimmed down Herschel Walker. Probably will not see any action today.
Yeah, he's lost 8 pounds, and he's going to try this year to be more elusive and not take the pounding he has over the last couple of years.
Kevin Scott starts in his place, and Aikman goes right to work. To Kevin Scott. Jim Collins made the hit. Here's the Cowboy offensive line. And this will begin with the backs and receivers. Aikman, Kevin Scott, Sargent, who's also been a surprise at fullback, Kelvin Martin and Michael Irvin, the wide receivers, and Steve Folsom at the moment is the tight end. Up front then, Tuinei, Nate Newton, Tom Rafferty, Crawford Kerr, Kevin Gogan, 2nd and 4. Broderick Sargent picked up 3. Leslie O'Neal, Mike Charles on the stop.
You know that's one thing. We see all the mass substitutions again. I think we're going to see the Cowboys are going to be a shotgun team this year. A lot of shotgun. You know, they're going to have their basic formations, and then on passing downs, see a lot of shotgun. Not on this. This is 3rd and short. But I think that's going to be a big part of what they do.
They go with 3 tight ends. And the Cowboys get the first down. Broderick Sargent picks up 6. Stopped by Sam Seal.
You know, one of the things they like about Broderick Sargent is not only his ability to block and run with the ball, but they were telling us in training camp they chart every play. And Broderick Sargent, from the day they came to camp until this game, has only dropped one catchable pass.
Of all the backs, he's been the best receiver.
I think he's probably been the best. I mean, when you only drop one in a month, you're probably the best of the whole, probably the best of the whole league.
I would think so. No gain. Kevin Scott, the ball carrier, stopped by George Hinkle.
You know, this Troy Aikman, when we watched him practice, I was really impressed. You know, you hear about these guys in college and #1 draft choice. He gets $11 million. You think, whew, that's too much money. Then you see the guy throw. This is a big guy. I mean, he throws. I mean, you know, I mean, you hate to exaggerate. The guy's only completed one pass in the NFL, but this guy has a gun.
And he's a great, big, strong guy, too.
Well, he reminds me of John Elwell.
On second down, Kevin Scott again. Near another Dallas first down. He got 9. Vincey Glenn brought him down.
This is a delay type of thing, and we'll see it from the end zone here. You see the reverse pivot. This is what they call a roll draw. The fullback goes in front, and then the quarterback rolls like he's going to do a rollout and hands to the halfback with the fullback leading. I remember the first time I saw that play, it was Kansas City with Hank Stram, and they ate us up with that roll draw. Then they would fake it and throw a pass, killed us in a preseason game.
3rd and short. No first down. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. Lee Williams was the first man there, and the Cowboys will have to punt. Mike Saxon comes on.
There's a good player for the Chargers, that Lee Williams. He was in the Pro Bowl last year. I mean, the Chargers have a few things going for them. One of it being their defense. They have a pretty good defense, and this guy's the leader of that defense.
Saxon back to kick. Dana Brinson back deep for San Diego. Good kick. That one's going to stay up there a long time, and Brinson is going to let it bounce. And the Cowboys are down there to down it at the 5, maybe the 4. Randy Shannon was the first man, and Vince Albritton finally downed it. So we're in the first quarter, 6:02 left to play. Dallas nothing, San Diego nothing.
You know, if you don't put it on, you don't have to take it off.
It's the right bit now.
When the show must go on, and on, and on.
It's the right bit now.
Because when you're really cooking, why put out the fire? Keep it going with the Silver Bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Coors Light. Yeah, it's the right beer now.
If you don't like the looks of your car, shoot it with Son of a Gun from STP. Shoot the dash, seats, tires, and roof. Son of a Gun protecting. Man, what a difference.
The product. The vehicles. The testing grounds. The results. STP oil treatment is the edge.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
NFL preseason last night. Eagles over Atlanta. Indianapolis strongly over New Orleans. Cleveland by 1 over the Lions. Denver beat the Rams, and Tampa Bay 41-23 over Houston. That's a shocker. Green Bay beat the Jets by 1. 49ers handily over the Raiders. 20-17 Giants over New England. Pittsburgh loses to Washington.
I think the 49ers are another one of those teams that want to win, Pat. A defending world champion is one thing, but a new coach is another thing.
And always there's a little extra incentive. Tolliver gives to Marion Butts. Takes a gang to get him down. He weighs 250. He got 3. Lockhart on the bottom of the pile. He won't weigh 250 after today.
Not if it's 94 degrees down there in the field. And hey, that'll take a running back the way Butts is working. He's already carried the ball 5 times. I mean, he can lose like 8 or 9 pounds. And some of those big guys up front, they'll lose 12, 15 pounds today. You know, people can sit out without a shirt and say it's a beautiful day. Not if you're a heavy old lineman, it's not.
2nd and 7. Here he is again. Outside the 10 to about the 13. Billy Joe Tolliver discussed with us his first NFL start.
It's quite an honor. There's no question about it, but it's something that I'm taking very lightly because, you know, not the game part of it, just the hype of starting. You know, there's definitely some other people around here that are deserving of that honor, and, you know, I'm just thankful that I get my chance, and hopefully I can do something with it.
He's going to play the first quarter. He's been compared around here to Sonny Jurgensen.
Hey, well, because he's red-headed. He looks like a nose tackle, too, doesn't he?
He really is stocky. Again, it's Marion Butts. Mark Whalen on the stop. Gain of 3, and that's a first down for San Diego.
Hey, this Marion Butts is going to be something. You know, the Chargers only use 1 running back because they have, again, that H-back with the tight end. So there's a lot of competition there for that. You know, you got Tim Spencer, Timmy Smith is here, Napoleon McCallum, we're going to see him. And then you see a guy like Marion Butts now doing most of the running. They got a bunch of running backs, but again, in their offense, they're only going to use 1, and this guy's leading the pack now.
7 carries for 36 yards for Marion Butts. Fakes to him this time. Oliver from behind by Jeffcoat. Cilio also with an assist. Loss of 4.
Yeah, that's what that backside rusher looks like. Look at him the outside. Jim Jeffcoat, he starts up there on top. He's right there. Now watch him. Once he starts outside, he's going to get outside the tight end there, and once he feels that backside of the quarterback, I'll tell you, those guys have an extra antenna that goes up because they know the quarterback can't see them, and once they can get by that blocker, boom, I'll tell you, it's really easy for them to give that one more boost into the quarterback.
Jeffcoat, another who's had a great training camp. Handoff inside. That's a strange one we haven't seen so far. That's Dana Brinson, who's always also listed as a wide receiver.
Well, you know what they're doing? Brinson is one of those guys. You see him, he's usually a wide receiver, and they line him up in the backfield. And they're going to do that this year as a pass receiver. So I think they wanted to start out now. They lined him up in the backfield, as we saw, on a passing down, and instead of throwing the ball, they just ran a draw play to him.
Again, that's similar to what the Redskins have often done with Kelvin Bryant.
But Brinson is a wide receiver. To say he's a rookie out in Nebraska, and they said they were going to put him in the backfield as a receiver.
Oliver back to throw it. Gets it outside to Brinson again. Another San Diego first down, a gain of 4. Robert Williams made the stop.
I think he's a guy that has impressed Dan Henning is Brinson, not only by his receiving, but by his flexibility. You know, the type of guy that he says I can stick anywhere in the game, and he has a chance to get open. And the Cowboys are probably looking at things and saying, who's this 33? I got him down as a wide receiver. What's he doing in the backfield?
I couldn't find him on the spotting board.
Because he's a backup wide receiver.
Right. First and 10 from the 30. Off inside to Brinson. Caught behind the line by Cilio. And a loss of 2.
You know, I think what they usually do, again, is they want to start off, that's their passing formation. And they started off, they wanted to run to Brinson so that the rest of the teams wouldn't think every time we get in that formation, it's going to be a pass. But I think most of the time they get in that formation, it's going to be a pass. because that's a 3 wide receiver, a different tight end, and him in the backfield.
John, you know, for so many years we've been looking at Dallas in that read and react defense, the flex. Now it's totally different. They're going to get after people.
Now that's the thing that Jimmy Johnson brings to this team is the enthusiasm, penetration on defense, all those types of things.
Pass intended for Flutie. Incomplete.
Flutie's having a tough time. The first time he caught one on 3rd down and fumbled it and lost the 1st down. Now the 2nd time they throw him the ball, he drops it. And he's one of those sure-handed guys that know that you can always rely on in there.
3rd down coming up. They need about 14 from their own 26. This is where a rookie quarterback like Tolliver will get his real test. Cowboys go with 6 defensive backs. He's flush out of the pocket. Flag on the play. Not enough for a 1st down. Bill Bates up to make the initial contact.
I'll tell you, did you see Bates hit him? I think the penalty is going to be against the Chargers for holding. But Bill Bates, you know, he's always the guy you're going to replace. He's always the guy that can't run fast enough and all that stuff. And then you start putting him in the game and he starts hitting guys. And you say, well, maybe Bates can still play.
7-6.
Yeah, we know who it is.
Down.
Isn't that, you see, that's the referees. They not only tell you who they're calling, then they have to give you 2 times 7-6, 7-6.
The referee is Jim Tunney. Mosienko back to kick. Beg your pardon. It's the other punter, Lewis Colbert. Tyrone Thurman. Look out. Into Charger territory. Stopped by the punter, Colbert.
Tyrone Thurman, you got to like him, Pat. 5'3".
21-yard return. 25 seconds.
Jay Trotter was just an average guy. Until today.
Like 1 win ticket on the number 4 horse.
The boss is a joke, Trotter!
Now,
He won!
he can't describe it.
What wonderful people!
He can't control it.
I'm having a fabulous day!
He's just going to enjoy it.
May I buy you a drink?
I don't see why not. I'm on the pill.
Richard Dreyfuss.
God likes me!
Let it ride. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, August 18th at theaters everywhere. Many men have sensitive skin that's irritated by shaving. Aftershave skin conditioner is clinically proven to soothe and relieve razor-scraped skin. Sensible care for sensitive skin. After.
By men.
I used pressure-treated lumber and still have expensive water damage. Why?
Even treated wood needs Thompson's Water Seal. It penetrates to protect wood, brick, and concrete from water damage. Thompson's the first name in lasting protection.
If you like to be seen in all the right circles,
It's the right beer now.
if you think there's a certain quality to beer that comes from up here,
Right beer now.
if you believe in letting the good times pour, reach for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Coors Light. Yeah, it's the right beer now. It's the right beer now.
The Marines, the few, the proud, the dad. Gerald McCready is Major Dad, coming this fall. Get ready.
25 seconds remain in the first quarter. Nothing score. 34 is Herschel Walker. He will see limited action.
You know, when they didn't start him, I didn't think they'd play him, but the one thing we talked about, both coaches wanting to win, the Cowboys have excellent field position here, so if you're going to use them, this is probably the place.
Walker stayed in the block. Aikman fires high. Intended for Michael Irvin.
It looked like there was a foul up on that play. They had Irvin was going to come under, and it looks like there was a lot of congestion in there. Herschel was in there that one play, and then he ran off the field. I think something happened to his helmet.
He was blocking on the play, and he hit whoever he was blocking a pretty good shot, and I think something, as you say, happened to his helmet.
Yeah, I think it got spun around. I think he was looking out his ear hole. Looked like he got his chin strap knocked off.
Got hit pretty good. Aikman gets it to Broderick Sargent. A Cowboy first down at about the 32. Mike Charles made the stop.
You know, Aikman looks like a tough guy, too. You know, at UCLA, they called him Timex because he could, you know, that old line, he could take a licking and keep on ticking. And he looks like he has that thing. I mean, here he gets put right on his back, didn't see a thing, just jumps up, and boom, he's ready to go again.
Cedric Figaro is the man who took him to the turf. That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Dallas nothing, San Diego nothing.
Hello?
Excuse me. Are those Bugle Boy jeans that you're wearing?
Why, yes. They are Bugle Boy jeans.
Thank you.
When you buy a Supercolor TV antenna from Radio Shack for just $24.88, you'll get terrific reception instead of interception. It's easy to install, and the Supercolor computer-designed antenna gives you pictures and sound so real.
Hey, Starbuck, what do we do now?
Red right, 16 wide post, on one.
It could make all the difference in the game.
There's a man open. And touchdown!
The Supercolor TV antenna, just $24.88, only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
Starbuck called the perfect...
I like hanging around, getting down, walking the dog, doing the town. I like everything I got right here. Rainbows and cold Coors beer. It takes a part of this country as cold and clean as the Rockies to brew a beer as pure and natural as Coors. Brew refresh, just like you like it. Tapping ice cold Coors with a friend of yours. A Rocky Mountain legend, an American original.
Dallas Cowboy football at the moment. 1st and 10 at the San Diego 33. Pat Summerall with John Madden. No score as yet at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego.
And Herschel Walker is back in the game now after getting that helmet fixed. And again, when you get down in this position, this is where the Cowboys have their first chance to score a touchdown, one under Troy Aikman, two under Jimmy Johnson. I'm sure right now it's very, very important to him.
Aikman to Walker. Flag on the play. Walker got only one. George Hinkle made the stop.
Hey, that is the greatest drive blocker in football.
That
drive
yellow flag?
stopper, that yellow flag for holding. You know, you just get things going. Boom, you got a rhythm. You're starting to feel good. And that thing comes out, and these words come out.
Holding,
Coach Keller.
offense, number 39. Still first down.
And Tunney, the referee. Broderick Sargent is number 39. Excuse me, John.
Yeah, he was lead blocking for Herschel Walker. One thing about that, that's the first penalty of today. You know, we're in the second quarter. That's not bad.
You usually see a lot in a preseason game. 1st and 20 down. Back at the 43. Aikman back to throw it. Screen pass to Walker. That's another thing they want to do, is get him in the open field. Walker inside the 30. Pickup of 13.
There's that elusiveness, Pat, that they were talking about. We said Herschel Walker lost 8 pounds, and one thing he wanted to do was this type of thing. When he gets in the open field, he's not only fast, but he's a strong guy. And he used to run over him. Now he made a little move. In fact, it was so effective, the Charger just went right to the ground. Couldn't even touch him. That wasn't bad. But that's one of the things he's been working on in training camp. He says is planting the foot and going the other way.
2nd down and 7. Again, it's Walker. To about 26. Pickup of 3. Jim Collins made the stop with help from Leslie O'Neal.
You know, one thing it's easy as a coach during the week to talk, well, we're not going to play Herschel. He's going to have a long year and all that stuff. Then you get in the game, and there's a thing called adrenaline. Herschel gets it, and I'm sure he asked for it. He wants to get in there, and I know Jimmy Johnson gets it. And he starts saying, Reston, Herschel, baloney, let's get him in there and see if we can get a score here.
3rd and 4. Still no score. Cowboys nothing, Chargers nothing. These two teams scrimmaged last week against each other. This is a little bit different. Aikman outside to Kelvin Martin. Gain of 9 and a Dallas first down. When you get backwards, 1st and 20, and can still get it, that's a pretty good sign. Roy Bennett knocked him out of bounds.
You know, Kelvin Martin is 83. He's the inside guy coming to the outside here, and he has been the most impressive guy in camp. They told us that the guy, that the wide receiver, Michael Irvin, is a big name, #1 draft choice a year ago, played for Jimmy Johnson. Said, but the most impressive receiver they've had thus far has been Kelvin Martin.
Aikman is 4 out of 5. 39 yards. 1st and 10 from the 19. Broderick Sargent straight ahead. Gain 3.
You know, again, they scrimmaged, as you said, last week, these two teams, and in that game, the Chargers won the scrimmage. And the problem the Cowboys had was down here getting in scoring position. And as you look at this graphic here, both teams had it. When they got inside the 20, both these teams were only 73% scoring, which was the worst in the NFL.
Now it's Timmy Newsome in the backfield with Walker. He's already played more than we thought he would. Kevin Gogan perhaps moved, or maybe the Chargers just jumped.
False start, number 66. Still 2nd down.
It was Gogan, the right tackle. Again, usually the guy that has to block the toughest guy is the guy that will move. Gogan is a right tackle there. The toughest pass rusher in the Chargers is Lee Williams, number 99, who he's going against.
1988, these two teams were both among the most penalized in the league. Dallas the leader.
The one the Cowboys aren't proud of is the fact they only won 3 games last year.
Shotgun formation for Aikman. Handoff to Walker. Inside the 10. Bensie Glenn made the stop. Walker gained 13. It does look quicker.
I'll tell you, you know, and anyone can run over a guy, really. I mean, that, you know, everyone says, oh, look, he ran over a guy, like that's a big deal. Anyone can do that. But this is the thing that you can't do. Make moves like that, make guys miss, and then know that in addition to that, you can still run over them if you have to, or you can still outrun them. Watch this one again. Here he comes. And watch that little dip, that little move. Then the one thing he has is that power and explosion left.
1st and goal at the 7. It's Newsome. Flag on the play. No gain for Newsome. Billy Ray Smith brought him down.
You know, one thing that I'm impressed with here, Pat, is Troy Aikman. He doesn't look like a rookie quarterback playing his first game. I mean, you know, a lot of them, the way you can tell a quarterback's nervous is by his feet. When his feet start moving quickly and jumping around and he gets jumpy, that means that
Illegal
heart's
formation.
pumping faster
No
than it
end
should
on the
be.
line of scrimmage is declined. It's 2nd down.
Chargers refused the penalty. They had no end on the line, according to Jim Tunney.
That's when the end gets back as a flanker, and that makes a tackle eligible, makes him the end man, which is an illegal formation. But this guy, watch this way. He walks up to the line of scrimmage, looks around. The guy looks like he's been here before.
2nd and goal from the 8. At the 5 is Newsome. Steve Folsom. Cedric Figueroa made the stop. Newsome heads for the sideline. He'll be at the 5 on 3rd down.
You know, this is the toughest. I think this is one of the tough. There's a lot of tough positions or tough things. But 3rd and 5 is a difficult thing because, you know, the defense only has 15 yards to defend, so they can tighten up on you, and you have to pick up 5 yards for a touchdown and a first down.
Cowboys going with 3 wide receivers, and Aikman from the shotgun. Down is Aikman by Lee Williams. The Cowboys will face a 4th down and a field goal situation.
I think that's the thing here. You see, the receivers don't have a lot of room to work, and the Chargers have good coverage. Now you watch, Aikman's in the shotgun. He's looking. He could throw there, but there's no one open. Lee Williams comes free, so he has to bring the ball down, and Williams keeps a hold of him. But someone on that situation, the 5-yard line, someone has to get open and get open quickly. And if they don't, that's what's going to happen to you.
It'll be Roger Ruzick to try a 28-yard field goal with Mike Saxon holding. Ruzick is good. And Dallas scores the first points, leading 3-0 with 10 minutes and 27 seconds left in the second quarter.
The PGA's best compete in a unique format that demands aggressive play and cuts its field to 24 for the final round. The International next weekend on CBS Sports.
As the #1 receiver in NFL history, Steve Largent of the Seattle Seahawks has faced many challenges, but none were as tough as when he and his wife Terry were told that their 4th child, Kramer, was born with spina bifida.
It was one of the lowest points in my life. No, I was crushed. Really just a huddled mass in the corner of the room, sobbing my eyes out.
We've been very fortunate in our circumstances in that we have the resources and the faith to pull us through a tough situation like this. But there are lots of people that aren't able to do that, and that's where the support from United Way comes in. Lots of families that need United Way to help them through a situation like this.
For us, Kramer is like all our children. Already he dreams of being a cowboy. The hopes and dreams of many children and their parents are counting on the United Way. That's why your support of United Way is so important. United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Coors Light. There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet, the best light beer for a good long time. Bugle Boy. And by Radio Shack, the technology store, America's leader in consumer electronics.
Here's the Dallas scoring drive, 11 plays. They went 34 yards. Kept the ball 4 minutes, 58 seconds. Roger Ruzick kicked a 28-yard field goal to put Dallas ahead 3-0. Sean Burdick will kick off, and he has got unbelievably strong leg. He kicked a 58-yard field goal in practice last week, and when he hits it, it flies. He didn't hit it. Can't find the handle. Victor Floyd, the ball carrier. Another running back rookie from Florida State. Randy Shannon made the stop. 12-yard return. Archer, former Atlanta Falcon, will come in at quarterback for San Diego.
Well, the Chargers are going to play 3 quarterbacks. Tolliver started, of course. Archer is coming in now. He's going to play the 2nd and 4th quarter. And then Mark Malone, who was the starting quarterback last year, will play the 3rd quarter. That's their plan.
And Archer back to throw on first down. Pass is picked off. Intended for Brinson. And I still don't know who got the interception. Too many celebrators around. Shannon, I believe. Randy Shannon. So Dallas gets another turnover. They already lead 3-0 with 10:10 left to play in the first half.
Dear Dad, I know you didn't want me to put off college for the Army, but Dad, I'm learning things here that are really going to help me succeed, no matter what I do.
Qualify for the GI Bill and the Army College Fund and earn $17,000 for college for only a 2-year enlistment or $25,200 for a 4-year enlistment.
Dad, now I'll get the most out of college and the best from myself.
Be all that you can be. Get an edge on life in the Army.
Hello, Ed and I are here on a spot check at our distributor in Meridian, Mississippi. It gets pretty chilly here in the storeroom. Bless you, Ed. But folks here like to keep Bartles and James as cool and fresh as the day we make it. While this is good for our coolers, it is not so good for photography. But it makes sure none of the quality we put into coolers like our new premium blush gets lost before it gets to you. And a cooler is a better tasting cooler. Thank you for your support.
Quaker State engines don't know when to quit.
Quaker State exceeds every single car maker's U.S. requirements for maximum engine protection.
Quaker State engines don't know when to quit because Quaker State oil doesn't know when to quit. The big Q stands for quality.
Over its life, a Motorcraft battery delivers enough energy to light up a small park, like Candlestick Park. Shouldn't you install that peace of mind? Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
John Cryer stars as the famous Teddy Z. Coming Mondays this fall. Get ready.
You know, Pat, after that play, David Archer was complaining. Here's what he was complaining about. Here's Brinson, who's his receiver. Here's Shannon right here, who's the defender. Now, Shannon hits him and knocks him down. And Archer went to throw it, and his receiver was down. The only guy up was Shannon.
That was Darrell Clack. He's in the backfield now with Newsom. Go ahead, John.
Let's watch it again. Here's Brinson. Here's Shannon here. You can't hit him after 5 yards. He hits him, not only hits him, knocks him down after 5, and then he's the only thing left. Watch that matchup up there on top of the screen. You see him here. Now, right here is 5 yards. So he's past 5 yards. Now watch what Shannon does to him. Boom! He knocks him on his back. Archer is already throwing out there. So the only guy out there is Randy Shannon, who's a rookie from Miami who played for Jimmy Johnson.
2nd down and 7. Aikman straight back, flag on the play.
We were talking about Randy Shannon. He was a free agent.
False start. Number 74. Still 2nd down.
Jimmy Johnson said they got to a point, and he said they were looking at players, and he thought, geez, I had a guy, Randy Shannon, who played for me, who can play as well as these guys we're looking at now. So he said, they signed him as a free agent. He came in, and he said, this guy has a chance to make the team, and the first time he's in there, he gets an interception.
This is the 2nd Dallas offensive line group, by the way. Bob White's the center. 2nd and 12 now. Line of scrimmage back at the 33. Cowboys in Charger territory. Aikman. Darrell Clack. Not much doing. Gil Byrd made the stop.
The Cowboys are playing their regular. They started them in the 1st quarter and then playing their 2nd group in the 2nd quarter along with Aikman. Now they're going to bring their starters back in the 3rd quarter with Steve Walsh. So you don't get one quarterback playing with the starters and the other quarterback playing with a backup. So Walsh played the 1st quarter with Aikman played the 1st quarter with the starters. Will play the 2nd quarter with a backup. Then Walsh will play the 3rd quarter with the starters.
Aikman changing the lineup a little bit. Cornell Burbage in the game as a wide receiver. Way to the right. Low snap. Aikman gets up. Gets away from one man and gets it out to Timmy Newsom. Won't be enough for a 1st down. Billy Ray Smith out there with him. He got 6.
You still have to be impressed with that, Pat, where a guy can go and field that thing, take a knee, get up, and still make a completion. Jimmy Johnson said, let's go for it on 4th down. You know, you're talking about things that are going to happen in the NFL. You know, what's going to be new. This is one of them. I think we're going to see more teams going for it on 4th down. Someone figured out the odds, and the odds are better going for 4th down than not going for a 4th down.
4th and 5. Martin and Irving split wide there. Again, it's a low snap, and again, someone moved.
I think that was a left tackle, Moss. It looked like he...
False start, 76. Still 4th down.
They say it was Jeff Zimmerman next to him, number 76.
I'll tell you, Zimmerman is the left guard and Moss is the left tackle, and they're both 300 plus. When those guys jump off sides, it rumbles, but I'll tell you what it did. It made the Cowboys go to a kick now.
Roger Ruzick in the game. Ball will be held by Mike Saxon. It'll be about a 47-yard effort.
Ruzick probably got mad twice. One, because he didn't get to kick the field goal. The last time was 4th down, and then they told him to go in after the 5-yard penalty and kick it.
Make it a longer one against the wind.
He'll die if he's like a yard short. As say Zimmerman took that yard from him.
Well, it might be. Just about a yard short.
That's exactly right. They lost that penalty, and Ruzick, I'm sure he's going to say that had I been able to kick it to play before, we would have had 6 points, Coach.
7:09 left to play in the first half. 3-0 Dallas.
My great-great-great-grandfather, Johann Peterstroh, was brewing beer in Kiern in 1775.
The Germans, they like a beer with character, and our family brought what they learned to this country.
Family Brews, with a tradition of brewing experience that's longer than Miller or Coors or Budweiser. Stroh's, a beer that's not the same as other beers. Fire brewed, family brewed, for more than 200 years.
Now, what about the Stanton judgment? Tough case?
We won it.
Nice work.
I had a great team.
Bet you she gets a great raise, too. Our next junior partner should be getting some good financial counsel. Call my Prudential broker.
Rock solid.
At Prudential Bates, rock solid means an all-star team behind you, armed with the strength and resources to win.
So, big gun make you a partner yet? Bang.
Prudential Bates Securities, rock solid, market-wise.
It is from Kodak. It is for the advanced photographer. It delivers the highest resolution, microfine grain, superior image structure. It is called Ektar. Sounds like the most impressive color print film ever made? It is. New Ektar film by Kodak. The genius is in the details.
The Broncos battled the reigning Super Bowl champion 49ers, led by new head coach George Seibert. A preseason collision next Saturday night on CBS Sports.
We're at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Dallas 3, San Diego nothing. With 7:09 left to play in the first half. Charger ball at their own 30. 1st and 10. David Archer, former Falcon. The Charger quarterback back to throw it. Screen back across the field to Dana Princeton, who had some blockers out in front. Fumble. And the Cowboys say they've got it back. Ron Francis.
That's one thing Jimmy Johnson wanted, is he wanted a college type of defense where guys go flying around the field and get turnovers and get things, and this is what the third one that they've gotten so far. I mean, and they are, one thing about them, that Cowboy defense is hustling. That's the way you play a screen. You play it on a triangle, a guy outside, a guy inside, and a guy right in front of the ball carrier. You see it there. There's the guy in front of it. They had the guy outside and inside. Double team, whap, out comes the ball.
Sean Dykes was the man who caused the fumble. Aikman has it in Charger territory at their 47. He's going to throw it on 1st down. Pass complete. Incomplete. Kelvin Martin couldn't handle it.
You know, one thing I think that we're seeing in this game, Pat, is we talked about how it is new coaches. It's important to both teams to win, and I think that's shown that this is not a wide open game. This is a very conservative game that both these teams are playing. I mean, it's not one of those typical first preseason game where everyone's airing it out, guys running all over the place. It's a very solid, conservative game plan by both sides.
Aikman 6 out of 8 for only 48 yards. So that'll give you an idea. This is Newsome. Newsome rambles to the 34. We asked Dallas cornerback Everson Walls for his scouting report on Aikman and Walsh.
Well, mostly what I see from Troy Aikman is a guy who has all the physical tools to be what they would say, I guess, another John Elway. He's a quicker foot, and he has a very quick release. If there's a tight spot, he's going to try to put the ball in there. When you're talking about a quarterback like Steve Walsh, he's more of a thinking man's quarterback. If he comes up to the line and he sees something in the defense that he doesn't like, he's going to change it at the line, and that's something that you really don't get used to seeing from rookie quarterbacks.
We'll see Walsh later. Right now, we're looking at Newsome around the left side for good yardage again. Martin Bayless made the stop.
I think Tim Newsome is one of those guys that Jimmy Johnson is trying to motivate. He's a 10-year veteran, and I think Jimmy Johnson felt that he was trying to act like a 10-year veteran and conserve himself and maybe not working as hard in camp as he would like to. So he starts Broderick Sargent. Newsome doesn't start. And I think Newsome is saying out there today that, well, let me show you what I do, Coach, when we're playing in games.
Maybe he realizes it's time to put it in another gear.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I mean, there is a point there that a guy, you know, it's a long season, and you don't want to leave it all in training camp and get beat up. But you have a new coaching staff, and they don't know what you're capable of.
Got a first down. They're at the Charger 24. This time it's Black. Black inside the 20 to about the 18, picked up 5. Jim Collins made the stop.
You know, when Jimmy Johnson came to the Cowboys, he said the 2 areas that he was most impressed with were the 2 areas that got the most criticism last year with the Cowboys. That was the offensive line and the defensive back. He said there's some other areas. I mean, he thinks they need speed. He said they need another speed receiver, and they need some more speed on defense. That's what he sees as a problem. But he kind of likes his offensive line and his defensive back.
That was Anthony Jones on the move. Pass is right in there from Aikman to Michael Irvin. A gain of 11, but what a throw. Right on the line.
I don't know how happy Michael Irvin is about it. He really got crunched on there, but watch this ball. You know, when you talk about a strong arm, the good thing about a strong arm is the ball doesn't stay in the air very long. Now, one thing it does, you bring that guy in there and you run him right into the free safety. The strong arm will get it to Irvin before the safety gets there, but only of a fraction of a second.
Enough for a first down for the Cowboys. It'll be 1st and goal between the 8 and the 9. Dallas leading 3-0.
I think the Cowboys drafting Aikman was a smart move, and then I think getting Walsh was also a smart move. And then, you know, Danny White, they retired him. Steve Pallor is still holding out. They aren't going to bring him. They're going to trade Steve Pallor. These are going to be the Cowboy quarterbacks, Aikman and Walsh.
Aikman, touchdown to Calvin Martin. 8-yard touchdown pass. Lofted over the head of the defender. Done as it should be.
Hey, Aikman on 2 plays there, Pat, really showed 2 things. One, boom, he zipped that one into Irvin, and you see him hit Martin there, so you know Irvin's all right now. That was a zip pass. That was a, boom, a strong arm thing. And then this one, you get down here, this is a touch pass. You can't zip that in. You have to lay that up over the defensive guy and where only your guy can get it, or you throw it out of bounds. That was a perfect pass from that situation, from that position.
Touch pass, as you say. Brusick with Saxon holding. Makes it 10-0 Dallas. So with 4 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first half, Jimmy Johnson's debut is successful.
Don't
miss the Firestone Radio Spectacular. It's your chance to get top-quality Firestone radios in selected sizes to fit hundreds of cars, light trucks, and vans, domestics and imports, all at amazingly low prices. So hurry to the Radio Spectacular at your participating Firestone retailer now, before we're all tired out. Firestone, where the rubber meets the road.
Some of the best breweries in the world are still found in Europe.
In Germany, especially.
The traditional way of brewing, the way our family started brewing beer in Germany, is to us still the best way.
Family brewers with a tradition of brewing experience that's longer than Miller, Coors, or Budweiser. Stroh's, a beer that's not the same as other beers. Fire brewed, family brewed, for more than 200 years.
I've made up my mind. I'm gonna do it. Why shouldn't I? I'm the one who has to look at myself in the mirror every morning. So before I lose another hair, I'm going to the doctor. I know doctors have treatment programs that are proven to work. More guys are trying them every day. I'm not bad now, but I wouldn't mind looking better.
Your doctor can really do something about hair loss. So see your doctor or call this toll-free number.
That's the Dallas scoring drive. 6 plays, 47 yards, time 2:53. That's the time they kept it. Troy Aikman, an 8-yard touchdown pass to Kelvin Martin. Roger Ruzick will kick off in the direction of Wayne Walker and Victor Floyd. Again, he's against the wind.
One thing the Chargers have to do now is just hold on to the ball. So in this quarter, they've had 2 plays and 2 turnovers. So if they can get a playoff without a turnover, they'll be better than they have done.
Wayne Walker on the return. Cowboys down in good style, led by Vince Albritton.
Yeah, we have 2 passes here, Patty. We're talking about one was the velocity pass. Watch here, zip. I mean, he zipped that thing in there to Michael Irvin. And then, of course, we saw the other one, the touch pass to Kelvin Martin.
We asked Michael Irvin the difference between Troy Aikman and Steve Walsh.
The difference, I think, is that when you run a 15-yard route, Steve, he'll release the ball when you're at about 9.5. Because, you know, he's got that kind of anticipation. And Troy, he releases the ball when you're at about 15.5. So you're already out of the break, and here comes the rocket. I mean, that's basically the difference. Troy has a stronger arm, and Steve, I think, has great anticipation.
Archer was hammered just as he let it go. The intended receiver was Jamie Holland.
Tell you, David Archer is wondering what the heck he's doing. The first time he's in there, he throws a pass. His receiver is knocked down, and he throws an interception. The next play, he goes back to pass, and look what happens to him. Boom. Here comes the blitz just as he throws it. He gets knocked down.
Sean Dykes was the blitzer. Flutie was the man in motion. And this time he hangs on. Tim Jackson was the defensive back number 32. Gain of only 4. Last 2 possessions have not been, as John Madden was pointing out a minute ago, very successful. Mark Malone over with Dan Henning. 3rd and 6.
Well, those are the things you don't count on. You know, you go to training camp, you prepare the game plan and everything, and you can't prepare turnovers. I mean, that's not in the game plan anywhere.
3rd down. Archer gets it out to Quinn Early. Early enough for a first down, knocked backwards. Billy Owens was the first defender to hit him, but they got 8 and enough for a first down.
Quinn Early is really the 3rd wide receiver. Anthony Miller, Jamie Holland are the starters, but Early plays a lot. And here you see that everything goes all the way in motion. That's an option pass. When he comes back in, if the defender's inside, he stops and goes outside. If the defender is outside him, he continues to go around.
The Chargers get the first down. On their own 37. This is Dana Brinson. He may be a wide receiver, but he knows exactly how to carry the ball as well. Albritton on the stop. We're at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The first preseason game of the year for both teams and for us at CBS. Cowboys lead San Diego 10-0. 2-minute warning is given to both Jimmy Johnson and Dan Henning. And so with 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter, it's Dallas 10, San Diego nothing.
The world's toughest test, the U.S. Open.
Performance. For some people, it's more than a passion. It's a way of life. Well, for all those people for whom good enough just isn't good enough, there's Speed Stick Antiperspirant. Nothing is wider. Nothing glides on drier. Nothing gives you all-day protection in a bigger way. All-day performance that's hard to beat. If you're going to give 110%, your antiperspirant should give 110% too. Speed Stick, the wide stick.
By Menon.
Excuse me. Are those Bugle Boy jeans that you're wearing?
I don't ask why, and I don't ask how, because I already know where. Right here.
A 9-ounce can of Ace Lubie lubricant is only 88 cents, and a twin pack of combination locks is just $4.44.
Hey, Ace is the place for me.
If you want to see people really enjoying beer, you should probably go to where they're experts at it.
In Germany, it's really very hard to find a reason for not having a beer.
Our family started brewing near the Rhine Valley more than 200 years ago.
And today in America, we're still brewing a beer with character.
The best beer we know how to make.
A beer that's not the same as other beers. Stroh's, fire brewed, family brewed for more than 200 years.